What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. I apologize that we were not able to go live yesterday. It was just the whole week has just been very busy. I've been doing some rearranging of my staff, some training. It's just been a lot of stuff to be able to manage upwards of 1,000 customers every month. You have to be willing to make changes and grow and take those the aches and pains and get rid of the fears to be able to grow your business and to be able to manage that type of a business. But we've done some things with customer service. This is for people that are customers. We've done some things with customer service where I have it going to a service and then it goes to the customer service team so they can be more prepared to call people back. And also, I'm able to look at and make sure that my customer service team is following up on everyone. There's no excuses. I used to have it going out to each of the customer services team phone, but now uh, this system is working really well. And then we have a good system where we have a team of people that are doing all of the processing and the paperwork, which was actually bogging us down at the office. This week here was doing straight up responses to court summons where people were getting sued. They needed help with getting a summons response or complaint citation response sent back to the plaintiff attorneys. And that is something that I specialize in. That's something that I handle for the clients in our office. And when we have a lot of those that come in, I have to assist in getting those done. And that's what also took up a lot of my time this week. And when I was looking at one, there was one that I did, I have it here, where they were actually, I've never seen this type of insertion place, but I guess that they're starting to do this because if you properly respond to a summons, they what they try to do, the plaintiff attorneys, what they try to do is they try to make it like you enriched yourself, like you came up, you blew up because of what happened with the debt that you didn't pay. And there was a line here that they had put on line number 15 that the defendant was unjustly enriched by retaining the benefits of various goods, services, and merchandise and or money and not paying for the same. I'm starting to see this added in there, and I believe that this is because being added is because when when people have went to court, the judges, everybody is looking up, and this one is only $831. The judges are looking at it and they're like, it's only $800. Person didn't get rich off of this. They didn't enrich themselves, quote, enrich themselves. It's only $831. So what they're doing is in these complaints is they're adding these lines and they're making it, trying to build their case to make it even look worse. And this is the problem with it when it comes to an individual that does not respond. If you don't respond to the complaint, everything that they say in the allegations, which is all of those points, the judge is just going to take their side on it, or they're going to look at you. And if you don't have no response to it, which you're supposed to respond in writing, but some of the judges will give you the opportunity to respond in court. It's not going to make you look good. So when we write these responses, or when I write them, is that you want to not fight. Like, you don't want to make it like this is not your debt. What you want to do is you want to make them validate the debt. And what usually happens is going to be two outcomes. One outcome is where they're going to just say they're going to dismiss the case because they don't get the information that you need in the validation. When I looked at this summons, it was the original creditor is a credit card company, but it was purchased by a debt collector in California. So when we do this, and then that they hired a debt collector in in our area to go after this individual. And so when we make this court summons response, we want them to provide all of the information. Now this is what's gonna happen, and this is why we get a lot of these dismissed, because the attorney that is handling the case here is just really paid a fee to go in there. They send the lowball attorney in there. They just package up a whole bunch of these in this area, go in there, try to get what they can get, and the ones that they can't get, they just send them back. But when you make a debt validation, they are not prepared for the clients or the defendants that say they want to validate the debt. So when you walk and you've sent the response to the plaintiff attorney, they send for the documentation to the debt collector that hired them to go after you. And if they're not able to get that documentation in time to go to court, because all of these are going to go in at one time. They don't go one and two. These plaintiff attorneys are going to go there and they're going to have a list of people that they're going to see. And if they don't get that information at that time, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say dismiss because they don't want to deal with it. They've already been paid to be there. They don't want to deal with it. They're going to move on with all the other people with the default judgments. If the other outcome that can come is that they could give them more time. They could say that they need more time to get the documentation. But this is what you do at that point, is that you tell the judge or remind the judge that you did respond in time. They've had a few weeks, which in this case, they're going to have 3 weeks to get the documentation before the court date. And if they don't have it, then you ask for a dismissal. It is that simple. Way better than trying to go into court saying that the debt is not mine. You know, it's just not going to work that way. And then what you have to do is you have to answer this stuff point by point. You can't just, like in this one here, slow down. In this one here, they have points 1 through 18. You have to answer all of them, and you'll notice how they try to trick you up. Like on this one here, it says plaintiff realleges and incorporates paragraphs 1 through 5. Well, paragraphs 1 through 5 is just basically saying who they're representing, who they're suing, the bank account that or the credit card account that they're suing for, and that the plaintiff in the business was in the is in the business of purchasing debt. Like this is just wide open for being able to get this dismissed. This is like really like a piece of cake unless they come up with all of the information, which I just don't believe. But even if they do, we got a $831 debt. This could be negotiated down for $200, $250. Like you're bagging them into a corner to make them have to either dismiss it or settle. Now here's another one that we that I got working on. The daughter signed for charges at a hospital, put it in the mother's name. The mother has been disputing this with the debt collector, saying it is not mine. Get my signature. This is not mine. Well, what we do in a case like this, and we've dealt with this debt collector, they're actually a pretty honest debt collector. So what we have to do is we just have to make it clear to them that number one, and how this got mixed up was that the patient, they're thinking that the patient was in was the is her daughter. They're thinking that the patient was under the age of 17, the or under the age of 18. The patient is not under the age of 18, so they cannot put this debt into the parent's name. But they're trying to do it, and the daughter signed for it that way. So what we have to do is we have to notify the hospital and the debt collector that the parent is not taking responsibility of this, and you cannot make the parent take responsibility for someone that is over the age of 18. We have some other ones here where we have some settlement offers for small debts that they were offering 50% settlement on them. Uh, First thing, regardless, what we do is we're going to send this in to do a debt validation. This debt may not have to be paid. Here's another one here where they're offering another settlement. Uh, this one here is for $1,100. They're offering a $637 settlement for a credit card. We're going to still do a debt validation on it. I believe that the debt could potentially not uh, be able to be collected, but we'll see. Here's another one here. 800. This is the one for $831. This is the one here that had the summons. An attorney sent them a letter trying to get them to go with them to do the settlement on this debt here. So we're already handling that one there. Um, I see a lot of debt being released into the market. I'm not even getting the emails anymore right now because debt collectors are just gobbling this up. They're preparing, number one, for if people are going to be getting if Congress re-ups on the $600 or somewhere near there. They know that they're going to try to go out there and garnish people on their wages. And they're also buying a lot of debt to be setting up for the income tax refund season. This is business for them, and what they plan ahead. They don't, you don't buy debt, in December and plan to collect it in January and February. What you do is they're buying millions of dollars worth of debt, and they're planning their strategy, getting people in court, getting the garnishments set. So when either they can get the money from people that are getting uh, uh, either from their job or they're getting money from unemployment with the increase if they happen to have the increase, and they're setting it up for the income tax refund season to be able to collect the money from people that way if they're able to. So that's what they're doing. Uh, so I wanted to give that quick update. I know it's Saturday, but I just want to make sure I communicated with everybody. I am getting in there tonight. I'm going to be answering a lot of the comments. I am pushing out the spam that's in there. I'm going to hire another person that's actually going to just be in my YouTube channel, just knocking out the spam. I do it. Sometimes I'm sitting there with my phone. I have an app that allows me to sit there and just go through and knock those out. But I'm, doing my best to answer all the comments. I appreciate everyone that's watching the videos on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Keep pushing forward. Don't stop. There's a lot of good things happening with Santander. There's a lot of good things happening. We got another letter from a client that we sent a demand letter out to, and they're ceasing all collection activities on that person. It's just going like they're working it through one by one. We did learn that everything is going to have to be dealt with by January 31st. So it's not a full year, but they are playing some games with people on that. With the Equifax settlement, a lot of people were getting confused thinking that this was the breach settlement. No, this is not the breach settlement. This is the settlement that they did for putting public records on people's credit reports. Even if the public records was true, there was something that they did in the processing of placing that information on people's credit reports that made it a violation. And what they did is they just said, rather than revealing it, we're just going to admit, or they're just came to an agreement on settling, and it's a $1,500 check that you could get with that. All you have to do is look it up. This is not something that's going through my company. This is directly with Equifax or their settlement firm that's handling the Equifax settlement. It is totally different than the breach that they had. This is totally different. So if you had any public records placed on your Equifax, you might want to look into that and see about getting that $1,500. Uh, let's see. I guess that's it for today. Let me look at my notes here. That's it for today. Yeah. So please like the video. I really appreciate it. Please post your comments. I'm going to be getting in there tonight to answer some of those comments, and I really appreciate everyone supporting the channel. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. And until next time, thank you.